nice tea. Hello dear friends. Hello to you from Shueishan. Today we decided to devote the day completely to a walk through the mountains. It's rather misty today and slightly raining. At this time of the year, you usually feel most comfortable in the mountains, as long as the rain doesn't get any heavier. By the way, we decided to start telling you about the mountains in this place, as it was exactly here that we were shooting before. I was standing by these very bushes during the shooting of one of our latest clips, this one. It was 3 years ago, I guess, and you can see how the bushes have grown since then. These are old bushes of Shueishan, a variety of Shueishan called Laokun, or you could even say Gaokun, as it is both tall and old at the same time. Usually just 2 varieties grow in this mountainous area, Rugui and Shueishan, as they are, let's say, the most promising in terms of harvest and of the raw material. At the time they were planted, these varieties were the most popular ones. The mountains of Shueishan were previously inhabited. This mountainous area that has become a conservation area, with paid admission by ticket by the way, counted many small farms. When this park was opened to the public and was turned into a tourist resort, all the locals were moved from this place. But surely all the tea plantations remained, as well as all the old paths. Quite often you see a path that can lead to nowhere, or lead to an old foundation where a monastery once stood. There used to be dozens of monasteries here before. Now there are only a couple left, and they're being renovated. The remnants of those paths that you see here could be a couple of 100 years old. The rain has started after all. It was actually not hard to predict that it would happen. I must say that the tea plantations here on the cliffs of the mountain can generally be divided into two types. They can be located in the gaps between the cliffs, where we're standing right now. Here is a cliff, and here are small patches of land. They're really small. Generally, the tea that grows here is considered the best, as it has the highest amount of minerals that are needed by the tea plants collected at the foot of the cliff. And the second type is on the top of the cliffs, as you can see there. The cliffs here are quite flat and have bizarre round shapes, and some of the tops are completely flat. The whole area here is planted with tea plants. Such tea is also considered being mountain tea, but it is usually valued less coming from younger plantations, as it has lower concentrations of minerals. Quite often you can see such signs along the routes. The best part is that they don't always indicate that this very plantation belongs to a certain company. Often you can purchase these signs from the owner of a plantation. This is popular not only in the mountains of Shueishan, but we also saw this in Yunnan. For example, Dakashan Company, a rather big brand, placed many stones with their name on the Bulangshan mountain. However, they don't own any plantations there. They've just purchased a spot. I've noticed, on several occasions, that even if you take the slightest detour from the main touristic routes, you won't find anyone, even in high season. Now it is, of course, off-season. It's almost December, the end of November. Currently the bushes are being pruned and fertilized. There is almost no one in the mountain. Even in this period, if you take the more popular routes, you will see some groups of tourists that come here. But if you come from behind, like we usually do, you'll see no one. If you'd like to experiment, you can always go off trail and spend your whole day without meeting a single person. It's quite surprising for China, considering the amount of people living here. There are still not many places like this in China. Every few years, the bushes are chopped and replanted. Right here you can see the collected bushes. By the way, we're now at Matuyan, the famous Taoist monastery, Matu, translated as Horsehead, named after the homonymous peak, Horsehead. By the way, an interesting point is that usually the genuine mountain tea carries a name based on the geographical location, like of the three most famous monasteries located here, or of those separate cliff gaps. From year to year, depending on various factors, a certain place where an exceptional tea was harvested from, or just became popular for whatever reason, reaches the so-called top. For example, Milangan was especially popular this year, or Matuyan was especially popular that very year. An interesting point. We've just tried to visit a wonderful monastery called Matuyan, translated as Mountain of the Horsehead. This is a tiny Tao monastery, a very famous one, known to a small community of people. The prior there is a bit... I don't know how to say it. I can't find a word that isn't a swear word. We simply tried to visit him in peace, even though we had been warned. Last year our friend was trying to get there as well, and the prior jumped at her cursing, saying something like, "Get out of here, you're not welcome here. You cannot enter this place." But this is actually a public place, not a private one. Just an area in front of the monastery. Usually when you go to hundreds of other monasteries in China, They will not only not shut you out, but actually welcome you as their guest and meet you with good intentions. You never see such emotions, but here the person just jumps at you, shouting aggressively something like, "Get out! This is my home! Why did you come here?" and so on. And he takes a stick and tries to hit you with it. Absolutely insane. So in case you plan to come here to Shueishan, I suggest not coming to this monastery. A crazy monk is living there.
那么咱在本座，
你真的是，看你们的，真的他妈的是。